Me duty in my faith is against LGBTQ. Me Assemblies of God me. If we say the faith I have, Empany say Bema, Bewari Bema, Oba, Bewari Oba. Bill a war parliament. Omunyam passing. But I'm say I buy actually says Omu pass here, president on sign.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edi sa nkomo wi atwemu bro afi baako enti betimi aka se bra na wo pritumi no ana odi sa nkomo wi se ono de oya assemblies ni enti assemblies ni ba ya tete na nyamesuro mu de LGBTQ plus hwane no ono de won so enti wa agency enti which means that se ade a wa agency de na chese nye awasi atwam awasi yi free system nim enti na amanfo bebere e ka se ene bia papa yi oba se bill yi ko drew parliament ya ye hwese o mo be pass na fi president ya sign nanso binim e ye se president on sign enti bill no yentumi am pass no e bia papa yi ba obe boa ahwese e betumi ya pass bill no na wa sign na ye mra se sisia de ye chiri because ye Christopher yenso a yesom sabio nananom bosom kra no yenso ye chiri sa de we enti yenso so ya sa si so na afei John Dramani Mahama wono ana president sesia Yakobu sana sa asem we hu se bill no sesia no wo kan sen na ensem wa beka no na agentra ha amanfo binum ese as wo sai edodo efa afuo yi hu as wo dodo fa ho ontimi nko straight to the point in kasa ya nyanti yam pass bill ntia na mom was bill na koto parliament no sesia de bill na wu enu nti ye behwe se betimi aye behwe se ye chese obibi wade nwan no amfo ko kwa pai yenti de work nine.
With regards to the proper human sexuality, it's quite a long name. Proper family values bill. If you remember, there was a court case that injuncted the speaker from forwarding it to the president, and also restrained the president from receiving the bill. Eventually that case was disposed of in December, I think on the 18th or so. Yeah, so it meant that the injunction had been cleared. But as far as I know, the bill did not get to the president for assent. And so the convention is that all bills that are not assented to before the expiration of the life of Parliament expire. And so that bill effectively is dead, it has expired. I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I do think that we should have a conversation on it again so that all of us, if we decide to move that bill forward, move it forward with a consensus. And probably it shouldn't be a private member's bill, it probably should be a government bill with government behind it after consultation with all the stakeholders to see how we're able to move this forward. But it leads us back to the discussion we had that if we're teaching our values in school, we won't need to pass a bill to enforce our family values. And that's why I think more than even the family values bill is us agreeing on a curriculum that inculcates these values into our children as they're growing up, so that we don't need to legislate it. And so we'll see how all this goes. And so I'm looking forward to this review conference so that we can come to some consensus on some of these issues. But I wish to thank you very much for the thoughts that you have expressed.
Enti na ne nsam nyina ene se sisia no de hia ne pa enye bill na sem ne mum de hia ene se ye behwe se ye de mra aye ye values no aye kire de school mu no ye be hyem kina na enkora na ye ba no ehu de esefata yen abibifo se ye be ye se de be ya ebere bia nkoba me yenka se yen hye mra bi mfantie bibi because se wunimo o values a unko ye sa ne ma no enti bill na nkasa de enya ne hia ne sisia sansem bi waka na mama mfo dwa pa amanfo bi nkokwa pai de woka ye no asa wo sesa wano and apart from this no so betting tax IMF nsem ene e-levy ni ade na sisi ade IMF nsem na aye atofos na Yebe no say finance minister no wokọ bet ni ebusa no sentisi abra IMF no mo be ne den sisi also betwa betting tax mu ozu betwa eye yi levy mu nti hina benya sika free na wode aba bebu oman no wanso nim say esan so hye IMF ase IMF nso be hia say yebetimi afa kwan bia generate sika e di ama wo mo nti wo be ye den na obu oman no wase IMF no ye ntwam ai nti say we expect say betwa IMF mu a ene menua wo be di dokono kwa ye ntie ne.
I would want to ask him, he is aware that a key development partner, the IMF, entered into some agreement with us. And in that agreement, they required of us to put in place certain measures. He is aware that the e-levy and the betting tax and other taxes he considers are nuisance taxes have been captured as part of our revenue sources in this agreement with the IMF. So government really has no unfettered discretion. How do you justify the repealing of these tax laws without hurting the very agreement that you have with the IMF? You think, in other words, you think that you can freely repeal these tax laws and without introducing a new revenue measure, the fund will be happy with you and will not see that your repealing of these tax laws amount to breaching an existing agreement with them? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the IMF did not ask the former government to introduce e-levy. The e-levy was introduced before the IMF program, and so the IMF did not ask you to introduce e-levy. The betting tax was also introduced by yourselves, not the IMF. It's not an IMF prescription. The IMF will give you a fiscal deficit to achieve. It is up to you how you achieve it, and we'll do just that.
Yeah, Chairman,
let me say this.
Okay, sure.
But let me say this, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the NDC government recognizes that there is an IMF program. We are committed to implement the IMF program. We are also committed to achieve objectives of the IMF program. We are not going to jettison the IMF program. We implement it. It is an agreement between the Republic of Ghana and the International Monetary Fund. Today, we are in government. We have a responsibility to implement it. I'm on record to have said that we will implement the IMF program. And so we'll implement the IMF program. We are not running away from that. And so whatever it takes, we will not run away from the implementation of the IMF program. And we'll implement it to the latter and achieve the objectives of the IMF program.
So, Chair, is Nanomini therefore suggesting to us that repealing these tax laws, these taxes that he considers them nuisance, repealing them without introducing new taxes or other forms of taxes in their place will not amount to breaching the IMF agreement?
Mr. Chairman, you can rake in other form of revenue through compliance. You can use compliance measures to bring in additional revenue to replace these taxes you are removing.
Finally, leader, your government is proposing overhauling the existing foreign exchange regime. As finance minister, what is the alternative? Have you any comprehensive foreign exchange policy you will pursue? Because it's not just enough to say that you will depart from the existing foreign exchange regime. The country would like to know how you intend to come up with an alternative policy, which policy will help to address the currency depreciation and build more foreign exchange buffers. We would want to know from you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the Bank of Ghana has the mandate to deal with our foreign exchange regime. I'm not being vetted as a governor of the Republic of Ghana or the Bank of Ghana. I'm being vetted as a minister responsible for finance. I don't want to make policies or policy proposals that will tie the monetary policy regime. I think we should leave that to the central bank and the governor or the next governor to be able to have the power to deal with the monetary policy, particularly the management of our foreign exchange. But I have a record to have said that the Bank of Ghana alone cannot be left to anchor the currency. It doesn't mean we are going to micromanage the foreign exchange regime. It means we are going to coordinate with the Bank of Ghana. So we'll coordinate effectively with the central bank to be able to manage Ghana's foreign exchange regime. That I know we will do.